Folks, what is going on? HeirofCarthage here, and yes, we have Carthage gameplay on the channel, and it is apparently apples going up against apples. No, the names are a little bit obscured because I believe the game was played in a different language turned on in the game, so I don't know the players' names, but this was sent to me by Sol Invictus. However, he is not playing in this one. This was from one of his viewers, and I'm excited because I have not gotten to see some Carthage gameplay in Rome 2 in way too long. He's got some mercenary Cretan archers up front, so that's going to be some painfully powerful archers. They have 40 missile damage, and they have 150 range, very hard-hitting unit. Carthage up front's got a couple of African pikes. Looks like they're flanked by some late Libyan hoplites. Late Libyan hoplites are a decent unit for as cheap as they are. There's some mercenary Samnite warriors holding up a line behind them, and some Libyan infantry. The mercenary Samnite warriors are going to be a very defensive unit, heavy armor, and they're going to, mostly be defensive. The Libyan warriors, if I remember right, are going to be a little more offensive, but be a little less armored. Then there's some mercenary Scutari, which are kind of just a medium infantry, some Gallic warriors, a light infantry, and then we've got some Carthaginian cavalry, which is a medium melee cavalry. Not great on the charge, but pretty decent against other cavalry if they can get in, especially uncharged. And we've just got a standard general's bodyguard here. They are up against the Iceni. And the Iceni have brought, it looks like, 4 units of Briton slingers up front. Briton slingers hit with 23 missile damage, which is a little higher. Your Celtic variety, so they're slightly better skirmishers. There's going to be some spear band helping to protect them out front. Cheap spear units, always a good choice in this game. There's some veteran riders here. These would be dangerous units to go up against the Carthaginian cavalry. Actually, might be a fairly even match between those two. I want to say the veteran riders would probably be a little better there, but I could be wrong. It's been a long time. We got some chosen spear band and heroic nobles, sword band, chosen sword band, heroic riders for the general, and some more chosen sword band over here. So a fair bit of powerful heavy swords. Not a huge number, but a fair bit. Carthage struggles sometimes to go against these heavy sword builds. It's definitely one of their weaknesses because hoplites just can't tank it, and so Carthage has to win it through other means, whether it be skirmishers or other advantages that they can bring, like elephants. Elephants are not going to be a thing here. The Cretan archers are under heavy fire from the Briton slingers, but the Cretan archers, remember, these guys are going to pump out some serious damage, but they are outnumbered, the Cretans, but doing quite well, to be honest, and they pushed the Briton slingers back with some fairly heavy losses. That was a pretty impressive showing by the Cretan archers. Very tough. Now, they were using one of their abilities that was, I think, helping them to fire faster. It was rapid reload, so that's partly why they're pumping out some excessive damage there. It looks like there's a unit of late Libyan hoplites pushing way forward at the main line. They're going to get a little bit exposed here, but they're going to go into their braced hoplite wall formation here to just try and hold longer. Probably be a bit of a distraction, honestly. The Cretans should have well, they don't have any range. Oh, those pikemen are getting absolutely shredded by the Briton slingers. Yeah, this is one of the dangers of pikemen. They're really easy to outmaneuver. Nice maneuvering, speaking of the spear band here. They did kill a few Cretans, I think. It is very hard to maneuver pikemen, and they're expensive, and it's hard to get your money out of them. They are a difficult unit to use. All they can really do effectively is keep an enemy at bay for a little while, dissuade them from charging. Over here, we've got the mercenary Samnite warrior cycling some charges in. They are up against Chosen Sword Band, and the Chosen Sword Band are actually wavering a little. And they're 2-1 here. They're not going to love that fight. The Carthaginian cavalry in an early brawl here with the veteran riders, and it's going to get reinforcements, so a nice surround there. Let's take a look here in the middle. Chosen Sword Band swinging in. It's late Libyans, Gallic warriors, and Samnite warriors. The numbers are in favor of Carthage, and just in terms of raw numbers. But on this flank, Carthage is in some serious crap. They're getting pushed by a chosen spear band. There's a chosen sword band. The pikes are getting absolutely murdered by the Briton slingers. However, so far, the mercenary Cretan archers are still very much alive. They've caused a lot of damage, but they're kind of getting into a crappy position here. This one's accidentally moving forward. There's limited protection at the moment, but look at that. The Carthaginian cavalry breaks open a flank. Their swordmen are on the move. The cavalry is pushing. These Briton slingers might now be in some trouble. There's another Carthaginian cavalry back here in the back that could start working its way back into the battle and potentially help mop up these slingers. That would be a huge gain for Carthage. If Carthage doesn't get those slingers, they might be in some serious trouble here, because those slingers can cause some tremendous damage. Let's take a look at the fights with these swordsmen. Look at this cycling out, bringing a sword band in instead, and make the Samnites eat a charge, and then he's going to do the same thing. Bring that noble sword into charge. Oh, if it gets the Samnite warrior, it's going to shred these Samnites. They are not going to like this. But it is a bit of a blocky formation. That might help the Samnites a little, because that unit didn't get wide. Oh boy, this chosen sword over here, their leadership is wavering. This might be a good opportunity for Carthage to get some of these big units off the field. They've gotten some rear charges. The cavalry is getting some nice support here and helping to get rid of some of those very key infantry units. Over here, the Cretans shredding a veteran rider as it approaches. And obviously they're trying to weaken that because that chosen spear band is acting as melee support. And these archers have got to get away from those heroic nobles. They do not want to get involved in that. Carthage needs to wrap this flank up in a hurry because they are getting pushed hard from the other side by the Britons. That cavalry unit is now reactivated. These two starting to move. They have got to get to those Briton slingers. They are still pretty well protected. This mercenary Scutari, though, is going to put some nice pressure here on the spear band, potentially help open that up. Right now, though, those slingers are owning, and they are after the mercenary Samnite warriors. And Carthage is in a bit of a pickle here in the middle, potentially. Let's see how they play it. Carthaginian cavalry looks like it's going after this chosen sword band. One of them routes. They're starting to get a little bit of a mop-up here. There's still a veteran rider, two of them. And then the heroic riders going for the Cretan archers, but man, they take a face full from the Cretan archers, though they did connect. And this is a dangerous situation for the Cretan archers. But if they can get some shots at that unit as it flees, and then look at this, that Scutari cavalry wants a piece of that as well. I don't blame them. I think it's a good target. Carthage now acting like they might suicide some cavalry in. It is going to get doubled, though, by veteran riders in the other direction. I don't know how this is going to go, and there's another unit coming in from behind. This could be good to disrupt the slingers for a minute. We'll see whether that pays off. The general's bodyguard is going to activate. That chosen spear band's tied down with a few Gallic warriors. The infantry fight is going to be rough for Carthage. There's some tough units here left for the Britons. Let's see. The Carthaginian cavalry trying to connect, but instead it has to charge into the heroic riders. It's going to be a rough fight for the Carthaginian cavalry. They have it outnumbered. Look at this, the bodyguard coming in clutch, though. The bodyguard's going to find some of these slingers. And the Carthaginian cavalry here is actually doing really well, so the Briton slingers now in some trouble. And the Cretan archers, I don't know how many are left. They got beat up in those charges. Looks like a chosen sword band routing out there. These Samnite warriors may pull that one out. There's some cavalry ping-ponging around. It looks like the general is going to swing back around into this fight. Let's see how those Carthaginian cavalry are holding up. Not bad against the heroic riders. Not bad. Performing quite well, in fact. They did just fine against the veteran riders. The veteran riders are a heavy cavalry class, but the Carthaginian cavalry has a better bonus versus large. And it's coming out to show there. Yeah, the Cretans were lost there, so that is a painful loss for Carthage. But the slingers were lost for the Britons, and so that's going to be a good pickup. The bodyguard's actually still pretty healthy here. Ooh, but there's a Briton slinger here now firing on him. That's not going to be great. Carthage better be careful there. Yeah, they're going to let this unit go mop up out there. Some mercenary Gallic warriors and some Samnites and Libyans. That spear band is going to be a tough unit. Very nice rear charge here. Trying to do a little damage to the heroic nobles. It's not going to be much, but, you know, it helps. Headhunt coming down there. The general's bodyguard is going to cycle here. And it is a costly victory. The Iceni concede there, and Carthage is going to take home a win. And well played to both players. There was a lot of back and forth there. These Briton slingers were very dangerous, and Carthage did get a hold of them, and I think in the nick of time. If they hadn't gotten to them, and this would have gone on much longer, I think these slingers would have turned the whole thing the other direction. Interesting to see those mercenary Cretan archers and kind of be reminded of just how much power those guys have, though they are a large investment. They have to be protected, and you saw there that Carthage started to lose them there. The pikes got zero value, other than maybe just holding the attention of the enemy for a long time. So maybe there was value there that it's not going to take into account because it kills. But they are difficult to use. Again, they are supremely impenetrable from the front. However, you pay the price of basically having no maneuverability. So it gets a little rough, and they're very weak to missiles as well. A lot of very tough infantry here for the Britons. Now, the Britons don't have like the toughest infantry in the game. It's pretty good, but they make up for it with decent slingers that they kind of have over the Celtic factions. They certainly have better infantry than Carthage. I was actually really impressed with the performance of the medium Carthaginian cavalry up against the veteran riders. Not to mention the Carthaginian player got a couple of nice maneuvers in there where he was able to surround and get some good matchups against those veteran riders, and overall get a really solid performance here. Boy, that heroic rider got a lot of kills on those Cretans. That was pretty brutal there where they got in. And let's take a look. The Samnite warriors actually held their own pretty well in this fight, pretty darn well. And that Scutari right there racked up 176 kills. Kind of some really good positions. And you can see the late Libyans don't get many kills. The one thing these units can do good is that they're pretty strong against missiles. They're a deterrent to cavalry, and they can certainly rob barbarian units of their charge and kind of bog them down and get them tired and help prepare some of your units for a better fight, right? As you see, the Libyans did well here. So the Carthaginian infantry outside of the pikes actually performed pretty well. I mean, pretty darn well. So well done here. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this one. Appreciate both players here that were involved. You can see their names now here. Definitely appreciate them. That was a lot of fun to watch. I will have more Rome 2 replays coming because of our good friend Sol Invictus. And you can thank him for this one too, even though he wasn't one of the players in it. It was him that sent it over. So I appreciate the players, appreciate Sol Invictus. Man, it has been a ride to go back to these, and I hope we get to continue it. HeirofCarthage, signing out for now. I'll see you all soon with some more action.